Hey there guys, hope it is going well. My name is Rodor and welcome back to beamng. We're going to be escaping the flood again on the same map as before. I hope turning this off will help. And today, I've already selected our 5 vehicles. That is it. 5 runs only. Whichever one makes it the furthest makes it the furthest. I did find out kind of like a special sauce in the last one, but I'll save that if I am to do more of these. So these are our cars. We've got the newer 90s, late 90s, early 2000s Pessima, the Gavel Vertex, which is kind of like a Ford Fusion from the mid 2000s, a Barstow Moonhawk. I believe this is a Moonhawk. Which one are you? I don't remember, but it's a muscle car, followed up by a Burnside Special Wagon, and finally, another Pessima, an older one, but with a ute body, because I thought that would be fun to kind of finish off on, since we don't really have any actual SUVs in these particular set of runs. I don't know why. It's real quiet for me. We're going to start her up. Now, before we get going, something I do need to point out is that I did try to pick a decent variant from each of these cars. I didn't go for the top high-end drag race special versions, but I did try to pick one that had a decent speed limit at its max around 120 to 140 miles an hour for these particular cars. I don't know how that's going to stack up against the flood, which we'll pull up here and get this set, which, like last time, we're going to go with 2. And just hope for the best, essentially. I am, once again, on a controller. I do have a wheel, so maybe if you guys want to see that in the next one, maybe that'll be like a special run of trying the secret sauce with the wheel. It will not go well. You can trust me on that one. Enable, and just try to minimize that for the sake of visuals on the screen, so it's not too much. I did remember to put it over on the correct side this time, so I can put the face cam where I like to put it, because I like my face cam being on the other side of the screen. That's just something I prefer. Personal preference in editing, if you will. But now, I'm going to try and keep talking as much as I can, but I will kind of cut through as we go. I am going to be honest with you guys. It is going to be 1 run per car, and that's it. If they fail, and they will be left on the track just like before. So if I'm cutting through, I know that it might sometimes seem, depending on who you are and who you're watching, that I'm cutting through just to kind of move the cars up and doing multiple runs. But no, I don't have time for that. Oh, no, no, no. You know what? I got time for this, though. We'll be fair and give the Pessima an extra attempt. This is the only one that gets the extra attempt, unless, of course, we go off there. But I'm making up the rules as I go. I can do what I want, damn it. But anytime that there is if I do restart, you guys will know. I'm not going to hide that. I'm not going to try and make these cars look any better. They're not real cars. So it's not like there's any benefit to making them look better than they actually are, making myself look better than I actually am, because all that does is mean I have to sit here longer while editing and try to figure out where to cut things through. So any point where I'm very quiet for an extended period of time or anything like that, I will just cut, and then, you know, the car might be a little further down the course, as it were, but that's all just for the sake of speeding up the video that you guys watch, the end product. So that's all that'll be about. Anytime that I restart a car, you guys will know. I'm not going to hide that. There's no point in hiding that. But here we go. Now we're to the point. Bridge. Brakes, slow it down, try to just get through this turn. And then this turn, and all of my off-screen practicing and runs we were doing just for the fun of it, that turn is killer. Like, I went off on that turn so many times. It's not funny. It's bad. And the longer I went, the worse it became. Oh, okay, we're still in control. Now, all of these cars do... I say all of them. I can't say all of them. I didn't actually check. I'm pretty sure all of them have the downside of being rear and or front wheel drive. Front wheel drive isn't as big of a deal as rear wheel, as the car will continue to propel itself forward. But the two oldest vehicles, they're definitely rear wheel drive, and they're going to struggle on some of these turns because if I take it wrong, they're going to spin out, and that'll be it. That's if they make it that far. But, ooh, why are you not turning? Why are you not turning? There we go. So, that'll be it for them. But the Vortex, and I believe the Pessima, this particular one, are front-wheel drive. I can't say for certain that they are, but I'm pretty sure that they are. So if I pause, like in the last one I found out, if you pause, you can slow down, you can stop the simulation of the water, but you cannot slow it down. I do not believe. I did some minor testing with that, and it didn't seem to slow it down at all. So I need to record the runs so that way I can go back and get some screenshots afterwards for an epic thumbnail. The last one, man, let me tell you, the last one, the thumbnail, probably one of the most proud thumbnails I've made. I've not been very proud of a thumbnail in some time, and that one I was very happy with. So I want to try to recreate that for any of these beamng videos, especially because it's real easy to just go back and get a good thumbnail, get all the good stills and everything. So we're gonna try and do that again for this one. I don't know why I'm rambling about this as if it matters at all, but that's what's gonna happen. We are over the bridge, and there goes my front bumper. Maybe I can steer a little better again. The steering is not good on this car, but we have a decent lead on the water. Oh, that was weird. Okay, but we have a decent lead on the water. But yeah, I need to run that. So if I forget and I have to pause, that's also what that's about. But that's not very important. Just know that I'm not going to lie to you guys through editing. There's a saying that I personally like when it comes to video creation, content creation, is anytime there is a cut, you have been lied to. So I'm trying to make it very apparent that that is not the case here. The saying is like, anytime there's a cut, you can believe that you have been lied to. You know that you're not getting the full story. Something's been cut out. Any type of vlog, whenever there's like a small cut and they're still in the same place telling the same story, then you know something's been cut out. And that's, you know, I don't want you to think that I am lying to you in this this fictitious game. And that's the Pessima. I will move the Pessima up here so we can see where it's gone over at. Put it by these trees. It does still start, but there's the Pessima. It is our current lead for this run, and this is the first I've actually made it on video. I have made it a little further than this off recording, but furthest run today. Up next is the Gavel Vertex. I think I called it the Vortex before. Yeah, this one is front-wheel drive for sure. So we'll just line up here and get going. And we're off. Okay. See if I can just about hide that. Just for the sake of having a full screen of content here. Not sure what happened there. Gotta remember to stop and start the recordings in beamng so I can get those epic thumbnail shots. Oh, this one, that water is very close. I don't think the Vertex is going to have the power. Yep. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But the Vertex does seem to be a bit more on the slow side. The water is gaining quickly to the Vertex. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't remember seeing it nearly this quickly in the Pessima. I wasn't paying that much attention. I was talking way more. but it does feel like the water is gaining quite fast. One thing the Pessima might have an advantage is, or not the Pessima, the Vertex, is I'm not having to brake as much. I'm able to just kind of let off the gas, let it coast, and then keep going. I'm not throwing my speed out as much as I'm letting the momentum of the car propel me through turns. So the Vertex might have a slight advantage there. Yeah, like all of these turns, I'm not braking. At least I haven't had to brake yet. Oh, there I go. I say that and then I have to because I'm taking the turn way too hard. Wait, I've got my line messed up my line. I don't think the Vertex is going to make it over the bridge. It might make it to it, but it will not make it through it. Over it? No, through it sounds better. That was a rhyme. Unintentionally, but I prefer it that way. So, let that one be the canon thing I said. That could be it. That's bad for the suspension. Getting a little air through the dirt, but we aren't slowing down too badly. But the water is close. I don't think we're going to make it over the bridge, but if we do, that turn and uphill battle, that'll throw us off real bad. Yeah, the water's close. We can make it over the bridge. I'm going to let off the gas here, brake a little bit, brake a little bit, brake a little bit, hard brake, and okay. But here we lose all of our momentum. Because of our braking, we have zero momentum here. And the water is much closer here than it was to the Pessima. So we're gonna keep on though. I think the Vertex is a bit better than I gave it initial credits for. But up ahead, we're gonna have, right past this building, we have the shortcut tunnel. I can't make it. This could be the car to try with. This was not the car to try with. This was not the car to try with. But at least I can say I tried. There it goes. Okay, up next we have the... Is this the Moonhawk? It is the Moonhawk. We'll fire it up first. Just so we can get that sound, because I forgot to do it with the Vertex. I apologize. Then we'll reset it. And like I said, this one is a rear-wheel drive powerhouse. It's a classic muscle car from the late 70s. So, it's got speed, but does it have control? That is the question. Because it is a bit free-floating. If you've ever played beamng and you mess around with this car, you know it's very, as you can see, it's very bouncy. It's very much a boat. It's very bouncy. It's very floaty on its handling line. I would have, for a muscle car, you expect it to feel heavy, but this one, it just feels real light on its wheels. So I don't know if it's going to have the control or anything that's really going to help it other than its speed. Being rear-wheel drive and a muscle car, it's just going to throw all power to those wheels at all times. So this one's going to come down to the management from me for controlling that power. And being on a controller that I messed up the settings for, we'll see how that goes. Through here I do need to slow down, because this thing will spin out on turns. It's all power, all out the back at all times. So if I power too hard into a turn, I will throw the car around. And not in a good way, obviously. If you didn't know, that means I would throw it out of control, and I would spin into the opposite direction, or maybe back into the correct direction, but it would cost me time. And time is something you don't have to spend when you're running from a flood. Wait. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? Okay, well, I'll get back up to where I was and then we'll continue. Unless, for some reason, we lose control and lose this round faster now because I am a moron. I mean, I don't blame myself for that. No. I paused simulation, and the simulation unpaused itself. That's not on me. I refuse to take responsibility for that. That's not on me. That's why this gets another go, because I'm not in control. I put my controller down so I could do that, because I have to press different buttons on my keyboard for that. Bruckle Moonhawk. It's doing well. I am kind of responsible for its well-doing, which also means if things go wrong, I am equally responsible. Oh, it's overheating. This could be our first car to overheat on the run. Was that in the video? I don't remember if it was in the video. One of the Crown Vic runs I did, it might have been in the training I was doing. One of the Crown Vics had an overheating issue. It didn't overheat, but I slowed down to a point to let it cool, and that cost it the run. So that could be a thing here. We just lost the oil pan, and now we are smoking through the exhaust, which means the engine will blow. The Moonhawk might keep in front of the water, but not... It can't keep up with the engine. The engine will give. Wherever the rod bearings are gone, which means the engine's going to start knocking, and then it's just going to go kaput. There it goes. Engine seized. Oof. Right where the Scout made it to. But inevitably, the engine gave out. And now even the hood won't stand. Start it up. Very similar to the Moonhawk. We got another rear-wheel drive powerhouse here. Now this is the fastest wagon version. There is a faster sedan version, and there is also a drag version of this one. I don't know how that would handle with the heating issue like we just experienced with the Moonhawk. So it's going to get its best go. We're going to enable that, and I'm going to see if I can hide that without crashing the car. So far, so good. I think this wagon is a mod, given that all the doors don't have handles. So it's not a legit version of the Burnside, I'm going to say. So maybe next time I can give the actual Burnside a look. But regardless, we're going to give this wagon its best shot. There are some cars from the last one I do want to give another shot as well, such as the Prodigy and the one right-hand drive wagon that I gave a shot. I don't know the name of it, but I definitely like to give it a real shot at running here, just because I mean, I feel like it was cheated out of its golden opportunities, just because I am a bad driver and I was terrible at taking this turn. This one is overheating much faster. Coolant starting to overheat now. So as we continue forward here, I forgot to stop recording again, so these two are just going to be together. But as we press forward, we're already starting to have engine issues. The smoke is coming from the exhaust, which means the oil is gone and starting to dry up on the inner block. So this one will not make it very far. Engine torque rods gone. If you played older versions of beamng, then there used to be like a rattling and then a knocking, and then there would be a pfft, and then it was just dead. That doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. The engine will seize up, head gasket gone. The engine's about to seize. But it doesn't matter, because it lost out to the flood. On to our last car here. The Pessima Ute, or UTE, Utility Transport thing. What does Ute stand for? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's a small pickup truck version of a car. And honestly, I'm being very honest here. Can we bring back the Ute to the United States? I know that there's still a thing overseas in like Australia and a few other places, But can we bring them back to the States? Like a Camaro Ute, or as it was known, the El Camino, or like a Ford Ranchero. Can we bring back the Ute? Utes were amazing. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of power down. Last run for this video. I am making much better time. Last time I recorded for like 2 hours because I just didn't know what I was doing. And I'm talking a lot more this time, I would say, than I was last time. But this video is still probably going to be significantly shorter than the previous. Because I went into that one with no plans. Whereas with this one, I kind of have a plan. And if I do more of these, I'm going to stick it to like 5 cars a video. Just so we're clear on that. For no particular reason, other than 5 cars a video is a decent number, I would say. Unless, of course, the video is incredibly short in terms of recording time, which right now I'm at about 40 minutes. So unless the video is incredibly short after I've run all 5 because they were all very slow, then yeah, sure, I'd add more. But that's besides the point here. And until I've gone through all the cars that I want to go through and or are requested at 2 on the speed for the flood, and I can make it to the top with at least 1 car, I will continue to run all the cars at 2. So where they stay is where they stay. And then if I am to up the ante, so to speak, then sure, I'll run some of the cars again. Maybe I'll give them another shot at 2. But, you know, the stuff like the, or give their better variants a chance. Like the Scout. The Scout's got better variants. I think it deserves a second chance with a better variant doing the run. Or the Crown Vic can definitely go pretty far, but I don't know if it can make it to the top at 2. I got pretty far in testing, but I don't know if I could do it again. Stuff like the Burnside, maybe, you know, fix it up, make sure it can actually last, or the Moonhawk with the radiator issues, maybe fix that, see how far they can actually make it. Anything that's crashed out, I feel deserves a second chance. Or at least give its better variant a chance should the speed be the issue. For stuff like the Vertex. I feel like the Vertex was definitely let down by speed. But there are faster versions. I can also like set up a version that's got better speed. This thing is speedy. It's one of the slower vehicles on the list today, and it is cooking in terms of putting distance behind it. So did the first Pessima, to be honest. So the Pessimas are good little speedy vehicles, they're basically like Toyota Camrys or old Nissan Altimas, essentially. I don't know specifically. I know my grandmother had one when I was a child, but I wasn't into cars back then, so I know very little about what they could have been. But yeah, there are cars I definitely want to give another chance, like the Scout. Come on. Ooh. I cooked the brakes on that one a bit more than I wanted to. But regardless, we're continuing to press forward, and I think we'll be fine. Hitting that hole did mess with my turning a little bit. My suspension doesn't look overly damaged, but I think I'm wrong there. But in terms of it, the car is stiffer, for sure. On turning, the car is significantly stiffer after I hit the hole. So I could have messed it all up there. Oh, I let the Vertex down. That's what happened. But also speed let it down. If I didn't try to go through that bridge, the Vertex might have been better off, but I don't think it would have made it, just due to how quickly the water can catch you on that turn there. But we're finally going to pass the Vertex with the Pessima. The real question is going to be, can we pass the Pessima with the Pessima? There's its bumper, which thankfully this Pessima hasn't had the bumper rip off, but well, the run's still young. Or is it? Ooh, it's close. Oh, that was super close. Very close there on the hole. I'm saying that a few times so I remember. The last hole there, it was right behind me. I'm only saying that so I remember for the sake of making a thumbnail, because maybe that's where I place the next thumbnail, is right there at that hole. And if that's the thumbnail, then hey, you've been privy to some behind-the-scene information. I try to think of the thumbnails as I go through these situations. I had no plan for the previous thumbnail, I will say that, however. The thumbnail stuff doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm talking about it. I'm just saying it to say it because I'm trying to fill the air so that way you guys get the intense battle that I'm currently having here with the flood. We definitely do not have the same amount of speed as the previous Pessima. Like, that flood is close. The water... Nope, that's it. That's it right there. Come on. Can we go? Can we go? Can we go? Oh. That's it. The furthest was the newer aged Pessima, the Deluxe version. I think it stands a pretty good chance. This turn got me. So I will say in testing and training, the furthest I got was right here, and then I went off the same way. Just took a slight turn. We're so close to the gas station. I feel we could get it with the Pessima, maybe with the Crown Vic. With I gotta remember, I barely get this far, so it's all about mapping it out as I go. So that's why I'm able to get further with each car. That Pessima, it struggled on turning with the brakes. If I pressed the brakes at all, it essentially just locked itself into a line. But those two made it the furthest. So we'll keep going back down the road here. I believe the third place today is the Moonhawk. Third place is the Vertex. It made it to this bridge. And it did go through the little shortcut tunnel. But I feel like that might have been the downside that it faced, which was my choice. So maybe it could do better without any different versions of the car. Maybe it stands a better chance just for not going through there. That is kind of a bad place to go through unless you can hit it perfectly. In fourth place today, we have the Moonhawk, which did make it quite far and could have gone further. What let it down was itself, in that it overheated. The radiator gave. So this one might stand a chance with a performance radiator. So that's something that I'll consider for having it run again at some point. But we still have more cars to go through if we do more of these. And of course, in last place, same as the Moonhawk, the radiator let it down. We have the Burnside Wagon, which it made it a decent way before its radiator gave out. But the radiator really lets some of these older cars down because they can overheat from going too fast for too long. With that, that is going to be the end of this episode, this video, this version, whatever you want to call it, of BeamNG Escape the Flood. If you guys want to see more Escape the Flood like last time, let me know down in the comments, hit the like button, whatever you want to do, and I'll do some more of it. I've got more cars I want to check out. Maybe I'll do it anyway. Who knows? We'll see. That will do it for this one. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to see more, remember, leave a like and tell me what cars you want to see me try to escape with. Until next time, I've been Rodor. This is not my outro. Bye.